And welcome back, everybody, again to Out of the Park Baseball. Attempt three. Attempt three to get this game between Cleveland and Rockford in, but we're going to try and we're going to do it. We're going to do it. I'm committed to doing it tonight. So welcome in, everybody. Welcome back. I will if I need to talk. Sounds good, 10th Shadow. Welcome in, bro. And, yeah, man, if you ever need to, just hit me up, dude. Seriously. Right. Okay. Let's go over the starting lineups. It is the 3 and 5 Cleveland Forest Citys at the 2 and 6 Rockford Forest Citys. It's the 29th of May in 1871. Attendance 734 here at the Agricultural Society Fairgrounds in Rockford, Illinois. Starting lineups are as follows. Dave Egler batting .429 with 7 RBIs, leads off from center field. For Cleveland, Fred Cohn, the left fielder, on a cold streak, batting .176. He's got 3 RBIs. Deacon White, the catcher, batting .314. He's got 3 RBIs so far this season. Al Spalding, the pitcher, bats .500. He's got 3 RBIs as well so far this season. Chick Fulmer in the 5 spot has 4 RBIs, batting .353 is the shortstop. Second baseman William Johnston is batting 6th. He's batting .273 with 4 RBIs himself. Denny Mack, the first baseman, bats 7th. He's got batting .370 with 3 RBIs. John Glenn, the right fielder, bats 8th. He's batting .391, 6 RBIs. And then Francis Abercrombie, who's also batting cold, or a little cold. He's batting .069, 3 RBIs. For the Rockford Forest Citys, Cap Anson leads it off. He's got a .376 average, batting with 3 RBIs. George Hall, the left fielder, bats 2nd. He's got .263 with 1 home run and 6 RBIs. Ross Barnes bats 3rd. He's the second baseman with 7 RBIs, batting .371. Lip Pike bats 4th. He's batting .306 with 8 RBIs and a joint league leading 2 home runs. Doug Allison bats 5th. He's got 4 RBIs with his .250 batting average. The catcher does. Joe Start, first baseman, bats 6. 1 RBI, batting .194. George Bird, the center fielder, bats 7th, batting .303 with 4 RBIs. In the 8th spot is George Wright, the shortstop, batting .276. He's got 3 RBIs. Dick McBride, the pitcher, rounds things off in the 9th spot, batting .419 with 1 RBI. Al Spalding, 2 and 4 on the mound for Cleveland Forest Citys, 4.5 ERA with a 1.8 WHIP, 1.2 walks per 9 innings. He is 0-1 this season versus Rockford. Dick McBride takes the mound for the Rockford Forest Citys. He is 2 and 6, batting .273. With a .273 ERA, a 1.15 WHIP. He's got .8 walks per 9 innings. He has got the win in that previous matchup against Cleveland. Right. Everything's been reset after 2 mess-ups. 1 PC crash, 1 my error. We're back from the Agricultural Society Fairgrounds in Rockford, Illinois. It's a 1:05 first pitch start, and here we go with this matchup. It is going to be Dave Egler, the center fielder, to lead things off. Here's the first pitch to Dave Egler, and that's a called strike. It's 0-1, and we are underway here. It's also a good time just to remind people this first inning brought to you by Pingu the Prince, FM streamer extraordinaire. Pretty cool dude. Go give him a follow if you're not already. Last streaming FM himself. Pingu the Prince sponsors our first inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That swung on, grounded foul down the first base side. It's 0-2. How are you, Buck? How are you guys? Sorry about that real quick. Here's the, that's lined right back up the hole. Base hit for Dave Egler. He's aboard with a single to start things off here for Cleveland. That'll bring up Fred Cohn, the left fielder. Here's the first pitch. A throw over to first, and that's back in time. Here's the first pitch. That's high for a ball, 1-0. You guys liking FM 26 a little more now that it's been patched a few times? I'm liking it. I really like it. Here's the 1-0. That's bunted foul. It'll be 1-1. Here's the 1-1. That's fouled over to the seats behind third base. 1-2 the count now. Here's the 1-2. That's grounded over towards second. That's through. It's a base hit. And Egler goes to second, and it's back-to-back singles here for Cleveland in the top of the first. That'll bring up Deacon White. First and second now, nobody out here. First pitch to White. And that's taken for a called strike. It's on 1. Here's the 0-1. That's high, ball 1. Count goes to 1-1 now. Here's the 1-1. Swung on, that's landed right in front of the mound. Over to second, and it's a bad throw. It's a drop throw. So Deacon White, that counts as a fielder's choice, I think. It's an E4 either way. And that's going to be second baseman Ross Barnes getting credited for the error. And now the bases are loaded with nobody out here in the top of the first. Bit of a pickle for Rockford. Here's Spalding. He's grounded that down. Back to home plate. He's out at home. Safe at first. They can't turn the double. Spalding's aboard on a fielder's choice. That's a 3-2 fielder's choice. Going to third is Cone. Going to second is Deacon White. And the bases are still loaded, but now there's one out. That'll bring up Chick Fulmer. Bases loaded, one out. And here's the pitch. He's grounded that over the second. Can they turn 2? The throw over to second. They could only get the 1. It's going to be an RBI. It's going to be fielder's choice RBI. 4-6 on the put. Scoring is Dave Egler. I'm sorry, not Egler. Egler did not score. Egler got forced out at home. Scoring is Fred Cone. Going to third is Deacon White. Spalding is out at second, and now it's runners on the corners with 2 outs. It's going to bring up William Johnson, second baseman. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. That's inside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Check swing, they look at third base, and the umpire says he didn't go. So 2-0 is the count. Here's the 2-0. That's grounded back to the backstop, and it's 2-1. Here's a 2-1 pitch. That's lined right back up the middle, base hit. That's going to be runs. White comes in to score. Going to second is Spalding. It's an RBI single for Johnson, and Cleveland have got themselves a 2-0 lead. I know, right? Nice, Mr. Bochangles. Bet these old timers are blown away by this futuristic stadium design. Yeah, they obviously nobody had photos or anything of what the stadiums looked like back then. So like this is what just OOTP put in the game, I guess, right? But everything else is fairly accurate. The pricing is even accurate as well. It brings up Denny Mack, first base. I'm the same here. Pretty sure they were just fields, yeah, and open, like open parks, yeah. Kind of like when you look at the old FA Cup footage, and how it's just a lot of people standing around the pitch, like back in the 40s and the 30s. No, I've never seen that, but it's been recommended to me. Here's the first pitch to Denny Mack. Dude, it's sick. Otto Leidenbrock, welcome in. Looking forward to seeing President Hoover deliver the first pitch. Would it have been Hoover in 1871? Who was the president in 1871? Might have been who. Dude, it's sick. You'll feel all the things. It's incredible. Oh my God, Grant. Oh my God. That's right. Because after Grant, I don't even know who's after Grant. My memory. I learned that stuff in the 8th grade, and I've never needed it again. But yeah. Yeah, that would have been Grant. It's the first pitch strike, by the way. It's 0-1. Had to put my son to sleep. What's up, bro? What's up, Buck? Here's that 0-1 pitch is grounded to the backstop. It's now 0-2. How are you, Buck? The 0-2 pitch is called out looking. And that is the third and final out. It's a backwards K for Denny Mack. And that is going to retire the side. 2 runs on 3 hits, and they leave 2 aboard. We go bottom first here in Rockford. And we got ourselves a 2-0 ball game. How's it going so far? So I messed up, I restarted, and now it's going great. We're gonna take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in just a minute and a half's time. We are back. Welcome back, everybody. 2 runs for Cleveland in the top of the first. Howard, you said good, brother. I'm hoping the Blue Jays win it all. Me too, man. I'm all aboard that Blue Jays train. Anyone but the Dodgers, baby. That's what I'm on, man. Anyone but the Dodgers. And in the AL, I was anyone but the Yankees, and the Blue Jays took care of that for me. I need the Blue Jays to win 1 more so that they can take care of the NL for me, too. Yeah, that's fair. Go Dodgers. That's fair. I get why you're a Dodgers fan, though. I got no disrespect towards you. Now, if you were a Mets fan, all the hate in the world. No, just no, I'm just teasing. I'm messing with y'all. Go Yanks, get out. It's like just right. The Yankees lose. Right. Cap Anson will lead it off for Rockford. Here we go. First pitch. It's grounded down the third base side. Foul. Here's the 0-1. That's grounded very softly back to the mound. Over to first, and he's got it in time. They've been underachieving for almost 20 years. Yeah, I know. It's fantastic. I mean that by no offense. I really don't like the Yankees. I'm not over '09 yet, okay? I'm just about, I shouldn't say I'm just about, I'm over 93. That's why I don't mind the Blue Jays, because I'm over 93. I'm not over '09 yet. That'll bring up George Hall, the left fielder. Here's the first pitch to him, and that's going to be taken for a called strike. It's 0-1. Yeah, that's fair, Buck. That's fair. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's grounded right at the second baseman, who fumbles it. And George Hall is aboard on an E4. Second baseman William Johnson getting credited for the error. See, now that's cool. You got to see Derek Jeter's 3,000 hit. That's really cool. I like that a lot, actually. So, was up in the nose, but don't matter, man. You were there, bro. That's really cool. Right, here comes the first pitch to Ross Barnes, the second baseman. And that's taken for a ball, and it's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That's right at the third baseman. He's got that for the out. And there's 2 away here in the bottom of the first. It was a go-ahead. Never heard the stadium loud. It was a go-ahead home run, yeah. My dad mentioned it to me, but when we were at the Union game, as Lip Pike will settle in here for this next at bat, they brought out Quinn Sullivan, who Quinn tore his ACL about a month ago, right? Or he tore his ACL at the beginning of the month. He's had successful surgery on it and everything, but they brought him out to bang the drum that we do that we have before the game. Like they bang it during the walkouts, right? Like somebody will bang it twice, it'll be like boom, boom, and then we all go Union, and then they bang it. They do that like 5 or 6 times, right? And he had mentioned it, and I kind of agreed, but that was probably the loudest I've heard the stadium do that when he came out. I mean, it was raucously loud. That, and when the last 5 minutes of the Shield, like when we were leading New York City FC 1-0, he's 21. He's 21. Quinn Sullivan's 21. When the last 5 minutes of when we were leading New York City Football Club, his brother is 16, I think. When we were leading them 1-0, meaning, and a win was going to secure the supporter shield, like the last 5 minutes, we were insanely loud. Like, and the whole stadium started chanting the chant. Like, mostly what I've noticed is, and it's true for the Union as well, you have the supporter section that's one stand, and they chant. And the rest of the stadium is mostly families and whatnot, right? And they don't really chant. The whole stadium was up on their feet doing the chant the last 5 minutes. It was insanely loud in that building. Yeah. It was awesome. Here's the first pitch to Lip Pike. That is absolutely rocketed into left field, but right at the left fielder. And that is going to be the third out of the inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. We go top of the second, and it's 2-0 Cleveland. Due up first for the Cleveland Forest Citys will be right fielder John Glenn. Can't believe that you won the, hey, we won the Shield. We didn't win the Cup. We're still in it for the Cup. I hope we win the Cup, bro. It would mean so much. If we win the Cup, it would be unbelievable. Partly, too, because if we do win the Cup this season, my dad is going to be the one standing next to me. Like, that's going to be a fucking amazing, amazing experience if that happens. You know what I mean? What's the North American Champions League called? The CONCACAF Champions Cup is what it's called. Welcome in, Kit. How are you? I hope you're well. Top second now. John Glenn settling in. How's the Union doing in that? We got knocked out in the... Actually, we didn't even qualify this year. So, we're in it next year. No, the end of the tournament was back in May. It's a winter schedule. Here and there, had a weird evening of no FM. Okay. Were you playing anything else? Here's the first pitch to John Glenn. That swung on and missed. It's a called strike, it's a strike. It's 0-1. Arc Raiders, you know that game is new. I get that. I know that game's popping off. Here's the 0-1. That's taken low for a ball, 1-1. Baseball fan. It's all good, bro. You only missed the first. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's below the knees, 2-1. Welcome in, baseball fan. 2-1 pitch. Grounded foul down the third base side. And the count is now 2-2 to John Glenn. Here's the pitch. That is lined deep into center field, right at the center fielder, though. That'll be the first out of the inning. Baseball fan, if I can have your attention for 60 seconds. Top of the first, Egler singles, Fred Cohn singles, Deacon White reaches on an error, bases loaded, nobody out. Al Spalding, fielder's choice, they throw out the runner at home. Chick Fulmer, RBI, fielder's choice. So they threw out the runner at second. So that left runners on the corners with 2 outs. Johnson, RBI single. Denny Mack, backwards K. Bottom second, Cap Anson, 1-3 ground out. George Hall reached on an error by the second baseman. Ross Barnes lined out to the third baseman. Lip Pike flew out to the left fielder. That is what you have missed. Right. 1 out here in the top of the second. I forgot the shout out. Bro. Texter in and out. That's all good. What's your advice? I don't know, man. I mean, you gotta. That's not. I've been in a relationship with my girlfriend who had all through her college. So it can work. You just got to commit to each other. You know what I mean? Like that's it at the end of the day. You guys got to commit to each other, you know? So if it's, well, I don't want you to go because I won't see it. I don't know if that means we can still be together. Like that's not the right mindset to have, you know, from her point of view. Because, you know, I mean, it just means that when obstacles come up, it just, you got to be able to push through those obstacles. You know what I mean? College and distance being one of those obstacles at times. That's my advice. I don't know. Let's go. 3-stream streak. Let's go. Right. Let me shout out Skull. The second inning brought to you by Skull Crusher. FM 26. Here he is playing FM 26. Yeah, 7 is a big gap to cover. Yeah. Tell you what, it is going to be funny if Arsenal bottle it from here. Actually, not even if Arsenal bottle it, when Arsenal bottle it. But yeah, go follow Skull. He is our sponsor here for the second inning. Right. Here is the pitch to Francis Abercrombie. That's below the knees for a ball. 1-0. Hopefully Bournemouth win it. Oh, man. Couldn't also come right away because my eye was hurting, and it's a red eye. Yeah. Yep. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's grounded over towards the second baseman. He's going to have that on to first, and that is the second out of the inning. 4-3 on the putout. And Abercrombie, his struggles continue. He's retired. That brings up Dave Egler. He singled first inning. Here's the pitch to Dave Egler. And he has lined that into left field. That is going to be another base hit for Dave Egler. Al Benny Day doing good, man. Doing good. I got a lot of work for me tomorrow, but, you know, heels next day. I did stretch exercise. Nice. I don't know if I want Bournemouth to win it, Buck. Give me, like, you know what, as much, I got to make sure Parksy and Retro aren't listening, but Retro Gamer, that being, but give me like Sunderland. Give me the chaos that would be Sunderland winning the league. Right, that's going to bring up Fred Cohn. Yeah, I like Sunderland as well. Yeah, just give me the chaos of the northern clubs. Basically any club out of top 6, pretty much, yeah. Here's the first pitch. That is a ball. 1-0. The throw over to second. He's safe. He stole second. Egler's got 2 singles and now a stolen base. Would love it. I would love it too. Right. Oh, dude, when I woke up, it was insane. Welcome in, Dave Hull. Here is the 1-0 to Fred Cohn. That is line foul down the first base side. Count goes to 1-1. Welcome in, Dave. We are playing some. Welcome in, Fukin Kukin. I love it. Welcome in. We're playing some out of the park tonight. I can't write for crap apparently. But welcome in. How was the end of your stream, man? How was the end of the season, by the way? Because I know you said you were going to finish the season tonight. It stopped raining. Thankfully, it did here as well. But yeah, welcome in. You are watching baseball from another century. We still have a few games to play. Oh, what'd you get? Just too tired? Because I've been there, bro. You're just staring at the screen. You're like, I've had enough. Yeah. We're playing out of the park tonight. This is the 29th of May in 1871. It is the Cleveland Forest Citys at the Rockford Forest Citys. Cleveland are 3-5. Rockford are 2-6. Both of them need a win to save their season. Cleveland leads 2-0 after the first inning. And we're in the top of the first here. 6-7 world-class saves. Lost 2-1 in the FA Cup semifinal. Brighton 14 shots on target to the 3. Big Bart had the game of his life in goal. That happened to me at against Beijing in the FA or in the FM 23 save. I generated 8 XG over 2 legs, Dave, and I lost 1-0 on aggregate. I had 8 XG over 2 legs and lost 1-0 on aggregate because their keepers just stood on his head both games, bro. It's the most frustrating thing to sit through. I'd have floored the entire state. I honestly, yeah, that was how I went out of the Champions League semi-final as well. And I didn't win the ACL for another 3 seasons after that. But yeah, it's so frustrating when that happens, man. Because you know what the crazy thing is? We played them in the groups, and the first game we played them in the groups, I think I only won 1-0. and he made like 9 saves, and it was the same keeper. And I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? I was like, because he put in a 9.3, he put in an 8.0, and then he put in like a 7.9 against me. I'm like, who is this keeper? And can I just buy the guy? You know what I mean? Like, I was at that point. Right. 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. Throw over to second, and he is back in time. And that one's fouled. So 1-2 the count. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And then it's grounded back up towards the whole base hit. Is there going to be runs? It looks like Egler is held at third, and Cone has got himself back-to-back singles here. That's going to bring up Deacon White. He reached via an error his last at bat. If any of you have questions on baseball, by all means. Also, for those that might be new, like Fukin Kukin, the name's Benakage. This is Out of the Park Baseball. I play FM. I have 2 long-term FM saves, one in FM 23, one in FM 24. They're coming back over the weekend. I also play other games. Action Timing In. I do F1 with Heindo. I play Dead or Alive Extreme Venus Vacation, PGA Tour 2K25, Pangya, which is like an anime golf game. It's a whole bunch of different stuff you're going to see here. At some point, we were playing Rise of Nations and Hearts of Iron 4. I actually uninstalled Hearts of Iron 4. Maybe we'll go back to that one day. But for now, I wanted the disk space, so I uninstalled it. Right, here's the first pitch to Deacon White. That is popped up in right field, right at the right fielder. And he will make the catch, and the side is retired. No runs on 2 hits. They leave 2 aboard. We go bottom second here in Rockford. Cleveland lead it by a score of 2-0. 2 up first for the Rockford Forest Citys will be catcher Doug Allison. We are going to take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in just a minute and a half. Right, welcome back. Bottom second here in Rockford. We got ourselves a 2-0 game. Rockford here with Doug Allison stepping in back to the plate. Only 7 pitches in that first inning for Al Spalding. And here he goes with his 8th pitch here to start the bottom of the second. Here it is, and that is going to be high for a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. That's below the knees. It's 2-0 now. 2-0 pitch to Doug Allison. Check swing, but it's in there anyway for a called strike. It's 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. He swung on and missed. That's 2-2. 2-2 to count. Here's the pitch. He's lined that right at the third baseman who gloves it, and that is going to be the first out of the inning. L5 on the put, and that is Doug Allison retired. It's going to bring up first baseman Joe Start. He's just below the Mendoza line so far this season, batting 194. Here's the first pitch to Start. That is popped up deep in left field, drifting foul. They're not going to get to it. It lands foul, and it'll be Start back to the plate, 0-1. Dave, if you're still here, where are you sitting at in the table? And how many games do you have left? Because you said you have a few. I'm assuming three or four. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And that's taken high for a ball, 1-1. Any nervous system people see that, so we're like fast-paced learning. I feel out of place, lost. I get it, baseball fan. Here's the 1-1. That is absolutely smoked in the left field, but it's right at the left fielder, and he's gloved it for the second out of the inning. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Here's the first pitch to George Bird, and he's lined this right at. That gets through. That is a base hit. It's a slow roller, but Bird is aboard, and he extends the inning with a single. I think you'll do fine, baseball fan. Nice swing, yeah. I think you'll do fine in college. But like I said, you just got to talk to your girl and kind of commit to the same goal of how you're going to handle being away, Just gotta, I found that slowing the pace of the relationship really works well. Right, that brings in George Wright. At least that's what worked for Leah and I. It didn't work for my first when I was in college. I left college before my ex did, and it didn't work for us. But then when I met Leah, I was like 10 plus years removed from college. She was going through college, so. And that worked for me. Right. Here's the pitch to George Wright. He has grounded that back up towards the shortstop. Can he get it over to first? He's got him in time. 6-3 on the putout. No runs, one hit. They leave one aboard. We go top third here. It's 2-0 Cleveland. Due up first for the Cleveland Forest Citys will be pitcher Al Spalding. He's 0 for 1, having grounded into a fielder's choice in his first at bat. Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right, baseball fan. Right. Third inning time, which means new inning, new shout out. That's what we do here with Out of the Park. This third inning brought to you by Ziggurat. Go give him a follow. Great streamer. Football Manager, Euro Truck, PGA, Rainbow Six Siege. Man does it all. Go give him a follow. He's a fantastic human being. The great Ziggurat. And he is the one that sponsors our third inning. Top third, Al Spalding settling in. Here's the first pitch to him. And that is grounded foul down the first base side. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That is lined right back up the middle. Base hit. And Spalding is aboard with a leadoff single here in the top of the third. That's going to bring up Chick Fulmer. He had an RBI ground out his last at bat. Here's the first pitch to him. And that is taken for a called strike. It's on 1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's grounded foul down the first base side, and it's 0-2 now. Here's the 0-2 to Fulmer. And that's grounded over to first base. He will take it himself there, and that is going to be the first out of the inning. It's a U3, and Spalding goes to second base on that play. That's going to bring up William Johnson. He hit an RBI single his last at-bat. Runner on second, 1 out here. Here's the first pitch. Johnson crushes this back up the middle. It's another base hit. Johnson's got back-to-back singles in this game. Spalding will go to third. Spalding, it's an error in the outfield. It's an error in the outfield on the center fielder, George Bird, who fails to handle it cleanly. And that allows Johnson to get to second. Spalding will score off the back of that. And now it is 3-0 for Cleveland. That's going to bring up Denny Mack, the first baseman. Here's the pitch to Mack. And that's taken for a called strike. Throw over the third. And safe at third is Johnson, who's got himself a stolen base. Oh, 1 pitch now to Denny Mack. He's grounded it foul down third base line. Oh, 2. He's taken on high and away for a ball. 1-2. Here's the 1-2. He's grounded it right over towards the shortstop. On to first. He's got it in time. And Johnson is held at third base. So 6-3 on the putout. And there's 2 outs now here in the top of the third. Yeah, the Islanders just scored 12 seconds apart. Wow. Right, that's going to bring up John Glenn, who flied out to center field his last at bat. Here's the first pitch to Glenn, and that is a ball, 1-0. Oh, there you go. It's reversed. I know. You just got it. Communication, man. Just talk it out. Communication, communication, communication. That's the key. That's the key in any relationship. That was a ball. I double tapped the 1 key. So that was by accident. So that was a ball. Here's the 2-0. And that is crushed in the left center field. Going way back there. It's off the wall. Runs are going to score. Into second goes Glenn. He's got himself an RBI double. Scoring on the play is William Johnson. And now it is 4-0 Cleveland. That's going to bring up Francis Abercrombie. Here's the he grounded out his first at bat. Here's the first pitch. He's lined that. He's grounded that over the third. On to first. That's in time for the final out of the inning. 5-3 on the putout. They get 2 runs on 3 hits, and they leave 1 aboard. We go bottom third here in Rockford. Score is Cleveland 4, Rockford 0. Due up first for the Rockford Forest Citys will be pitcher Dick McBride. We are going to take a quick 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in just a minute and a half. We are back. Bottom third here in Rockford. 4-0 Cleveland. 17 pitches so far for Al Spalding. His counterpart has thrown an inning more, and he's at 46. Dick McBride settles in. Here's the first pitch to him. That's below the knees, ball one. Here's the 1-0. That is lined deep into center field, right at the center fielder, though. And he will have it for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Cap Anson. Here's the first pitch to him. And it's taken for a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Cap Anson. He has grounded that foul, or he's fouled that into the seats next to first base. Here's the 0-2. Foul to the backstop. It'll remain 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Grounded over to third. And it looks like it's going to be an infield single. Cap Anson getting credited with an infield single. Just couldn't get it out of the glove, could the infielder. That was third baseman Francis Abercrombie that got it caught in his glove. And that's going to bring up George Hall, the left fielder. He reached via an error his first at bat. Here's the first pitch to him. He is grounded that over the third. Diving on it. That's a bad throw. E5 is the call. It's another error that George Hall is reaching on. The third baseman, Francis Abercrombie, couldn't get it out of his glove on the first batter, and then he makes the error on the second. Cap Anson goes to second. And now it's first and second here, nobody out for Rockford. They need to capitalize on this, get back into this game. That's going to bring up Ross Barnes. Barnes is the second baseman. He lined out to the third baseman his last at bat. Here's the first pitch. That's a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. He's popped that up in the infield. Second baseman's come over. He was right out of the gates quickly, and he will glove it for the first out of the inning. That brings up Lip Pike, the right fielder. He flied out to left his first at bat. Here's the first pitch. And that's taken for a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. He is swung on. He's popped that up. Right at the shortstop, and he will glove it, and that will retire the side. No runs on one hit. They leave two aboard. We go top fourth here in Rockford. Cleveland lead it by a score of 4-0. It'll be Dave Egler who's set to lead off for the Cleveland Forest Citys. Egler 2 for 2 with a pair of singles and a stolen base so far today. But new inning means new shout out. Give Buck FC a follow if you're not already. Football Manager Enjoyer. Here he is playing the brand new one. What, did he zing over there? That dude like zinged over there. Yeah. Clipping all the wonderful bugs because FM26 is in beta. But go give him a follow. He's a cool individual. He's a great guy to talk to, and he's got some fun FM saves. Buck FC is our sponsor for this fourth inning. Dave Egler settling in. Here's the first pitch to him. And that's a check swing. They asked the first base umpire, and didn't go is the call. It's a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. That's a called strike. It's 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's grounded foul towards the third base side. Here's the 1-2 pitch now. That's grounded over the third. It's an error. It's an error. E5. And that is Cap Anson with his second error of the afternoon here for Rockford. And just like that, the leadoff runner is aboard yet again for the Cleveland Forest Citys. Thank you, brother. You are welcome. That's going to bring up Fred Cohn. He is 2 for 2 with a pair of singles himself. Throw over to first. He's back in time. Here's the first pitch. That's a called strike. Throw over to second. Safe at second. And Egler has got himself another stolen base. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Fred Cohn. That's inside, ball 1. Here's the 1-1. That's away, high, ball 2. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That is off the plate away. Egler's going for third, and he's safe at third. He's got 2 stolen bases. He's a speed demon. And it's a 3-1 count. Hitters counting. Egler has stole himself to 90 feet away. Grounded over to that's through, base hit. Fred Cohn's got his 3rd single of the afternoon. This time it comes with an RBI. Scoring on the play is Dave Egler, and Cleveland have taken a 5-0 lead. Here's Deacon White settling in now, 0 for 2. Throw over to first, and that's a bad throw. It's an E1. And McBride gets the error this time. Here's the pitch to. Now hold on a minute. Let me check the box score. Who's got the errors? That's what I want to know. Anson, Barnes, Bird, and McBride. Anson's only got 1. Okay. I must have forgot to erase his error from the previous game. That's probably what it was. Right. Here's Deacon White. Here's the pitch. That's lined into left. That's a base hit. And Dick McBride really struggling on the mound today. First and third, nobody out. That brings up Al Spalding, who's 1 for 2. Here's the pitch. Spalding grounds this over to third. Good stop. And it's a bad throw from Cap Anson. There's his 2nd error of the afternoon. Anson with a bad error. And it's a particularly costly error. Not scoring is Cohn. He does not score because he was held at first by the diving stop of Anson. But the bad throw means that everybody's safe, and it is going to be bases loaded and nobody out. That brings up Chick Fulmer. 0 for 2 with an RBI. Here's the pitch to Fulmer. And he's grounded that back to the mound. Can he get the throw at home? He's got him at home. He's safe at first. But it's a fielder's choice. Going to third is Deacon White. Going to second is Spalding. Fulmer gets aboard. But his base is loaded now and 1 out. Here's William Johnson. He's 2 for 2 so far today. RBI and a stolen base off his 2 singles. Here we go. Johnson, he's hit by the pitch. And that is going to bring home a run. Scoring is Deacon White. Going to third is Spalding. Going to second is Fulmer. Johnson gets beamed, and it's 6-0 Cleveland. Here is Denny Mack. 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. Here's the pitch. That is a called strike. It's on 1. Here's the 0-1. That's popped up. Third baseman coming over for it, and he's got it. Cap Anson's gloved it, and that is going to be the second out of the inning. It's going to bring up John Glenn, the right fielder. 1 for 2 with a double. Here's the first pitch. That is a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Grounded over to first. And taking that to the bag himself as the first baseman. That will retire the side. 2 runs on 2 hits. They leave the bases loaded. We go bottom 4th here in Rockford. 6-0 Cleveland. Catcher Doug Allison will be due up first for the Rockford Forest Citys. They're down 6-0. They need to start the rally here in the 4th. We'll see if they can do just that. But first, we're going to take a quick 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in just a minute and a half. Welcome back. Bottom 4th here in Rockford. Rockford down by a score of 6-0. They've got Doug Allison stepping up to the plate here. Here's the first pitch to him. And that is lined through the gap between third and short. And Allison's got a first pitch swinging single to lead off this inning. That's going to bring up Joe Starty flat out to left field his first at bat. Here's the pitch. That's a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That's taken for a ball. It's 1-1 now. Here's the 1-1. That is lined deep into center field. Going back as a center fielder, and it bounces right before him. He went a little bit too far back. It's a double for Joe Start. Going to third is Doug Allison. And now it's 2 runners in scoring position with nobody out. That brings up George Bird, center fielder. He singled his first at bat. Right, here's the first pitch. Swung on and missed. That's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. He's popped this up in shallow right. Second baseman's gone back for it. He'll make the catch. That's going to bring up George Wright, the shortstop. He grounded out his first at bat. Here's the first pitch to him. That's taken for a ball. 1-0. Here's the 1-0. That's lined right back through the gap. Oh no, the shortstop's right over there to make the catch. And there's 2 down now. That'll bring up pitcher Dick McBride. Here's the first pitch to McBride. He has lined that into shallow left. That is going to fall, and the shortstop's got it. And just like that, they get 2 players in scoring position, but they cannot bring him home. No runs on 2 hits. They leave 2 aboard. We're through 4 here in Rockford, Cleveland, with a commanding 6-0 lead. 2 up first for the Cleveland Forest Citys is third baseman Francis Abercrombie. You know the way it goes. New inning, new sponsor. He enjoys action timing in like I do. He recently played Dead or Alive 6 on stream. Also did a playthrough of Silent Hill F. He's a really cool, chill dude. Go give him a follow. The fantastic 10th Shadow is our sponsor for the 5th inning here tonight. Right, Abercrombie settles in. Here's the first pitch to him. That's off the plate away. 1-0. Here's the 1-0. That's a called strike. It's 1-1. Pat Wentz, what's good, Pat? Thanks, Benny. Appreciate the support. It helps. Got to talk it out with her. Confidence, trust. Nice. Nice. Welcome in, Pat. How are you doing, brother? It's good to hear, baseball fan, man. It is, bro. Here's the 1-1. Abercrombie fouls that to the backstop. Yeah, I know. They're about to be 2-7, bro. It's not looking good. I might get the sack in OOTP. Here's the 1-2. That's taken for a ball. 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's grounded over towards the second baseman. On to first. That's in time for the first out of the inning. Just finished walking the dog and having my coffee now. Nice. Good morning to you, bro. Just a heads up, Pat. We fall back this weekend, meaning our clocks go 1 hour back this weekend. So instead of it being 12 hours between you and me, there's going to be 13 hours between you and me starting Sunday. So when I go live at 7, yeah, it's going to be, if I go live at 7 at night, it's going to be 8 in the morning for you. Right. That brings up that's going to bring up Dave Egler, the top of the order again. He is 2 for 3. 2 singles and 3 stolen bases. Here's the first pitch to Egler. And he's going to take that off, below the knees for a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. That's a called strike. It's 1-1. One pitch to Dave Egler. He's lined that into left field, and that is going to get down for a base hit. Egler's got his 3rd single of the afternoon, and he has got some speed. He's already stolen 3 bases off Doug Allison today. Here's Fred Cohn stepping in. He is 3 for 3 with an RBI. Throw over to first. He's back in time. Here's the pitch. Grounded back to the mound. Are they going to second? He is. He is out at second. So Cohn is on via fielder's choice. It's a 1-4 fielder's choice. That'll retire Egler. And that's going to bring up Deacon White. Oh, daylight saving times. Oh, still a thing. Yep. Spring forward, fall back into so far. Yep. Yeah, I thought it was next weekend. And apparently it's this weekend. Right, here's Deacon White. First pitch to him. That is inside for a ball. No throw on the stolen base by Fred Cohn. He absolutely darted down there. Here's the 1-0. That's swung on and missed. It's 1-1. Yeah, BRB checking 26 because I thought of a back 5 last night. Nice. Here's the 1-1. That's a called strike. It's 1-2. 1-2 count to Deacon White. Here's the pitch. He's lined that right to the third baseman who gloves it, and that will retire in the side. No runs on 1 hit. They leave 1 aboard. We go bottom 5th here in Rockford. It is 6-0 Cleveland. Due up first for the Rockford Forest Citys will be 3rd baseman Cap Anson. We are going to take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in just 90 seconds time. Don't go anywhere. Right, welcome back. Good night, Zig. Thank you for lurking. I'll try to send you somewhere cool, bro. Bottom fifth here in Rockford. It's Cap Anson who's up to the plate. Here's the first pitch. Swung on and missed. It's on 1. Here's the 0-1. Anson's ripped this in the left. This is going to get down at will. And Anson is aboard here with a base hit. So the leadoff runner aboard for the second straight inning. I have no clue, to be honest with you. I couldn't even point out Rockford, Illinois on a map, to be honest with you. That's going to bring in George Hall, left fielder. He's 0 for 2. Both reaching via an error. Here's the pitch. That's a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That's line foul down the third base side. 0-2 pitch is inside. Ball 1. And it's 1-2 now. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That swung on, grounded over to second. Are they going to go to second? They are going to go to second. They got him in time, and it's a fielder's choice for George Hall. That's going to bring up second baseman Ross Barnes. Lined out and popped out. And US Route 20. Oh, nice. The Rock River, I feel like that was an Oregon Trail at some point. I don't know. I don't know why I say that, but that's what it just reminds me of that. Right, here's the first pitch. The Barnes throw over to first. He's back in time. How we hanging? We're down 6-0. Here's the first pitch. That's off the plate away. 1-0. The throw over to second. He's safe at second. George Hall has stolen second base. Just got in there in time. Here's the 1-0. And that's a called strike, 1-1. It didn't because it was Missouri to Oregon, so further south. That's what I thought. Yeah. I don't know why it came to mind or why I thought that. Right, here's the 1-1. And it's below the knees, 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That's grounded foul down the first base side. It'll be 2-2 now. Here's the 2-2 pitch. High and away, ball 3. And now it's a full count. And here's the payoff pitch to Ross Barnes. And he's lined that right at the third baseman. And that will be the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up right fielder Lip Pike. Pike is 0 for 2 with a pop-up and a flyout. Here's the first pitch to Pike, and he has grounded that over to first. And he will step on the bag himself, and that will retire the side. No runs on one hit. They leave one aboard. We go to the top 6th here in Rockford. Cleveland still leading by a score of 6-0. Due up first for the Rockford Forest Citys is pitcher Al Spalding. Right, new inning means new shout out. If you're not already giving him a follow, he's one of the best football manager streamers on all of Twitch. It's Dave Hole FC. Here he is. He was about to get called a stupid bastard by his chat. He's got some phenomenal soundbite redeems. Give him a follow. Really fun dude to talk to and watch. The great Dave Hull FC. He is your sponsor for this 6th inning here tonight. Al Spalding settling into the batter's box. Game time is 1 hour 25 minutes so far. Here's the first pitch to Spalding. And he has lined that into center field. Center fielder coming in for it, and he will make the grab. That is the first out of the inning. Events approval of contract for Rockford Third Bridge over Rock River and State Street. Continued growth industrial base. I wonder what the town's like today, even, you know. That's going to bring up Chick Fulmer. He is 0 for 3 with an RBI. Here's the first pitch. That is below the knees. Ball 1. I see Firestarter on this album, which I recognize. Hopeful. Oh, I love Firestarter. Right, here's the 1-0. Popped up in the infield, right behind home plate. And Doug Allison will glove that, and that is going to be the second out of the inning. That'll bring up William Johnson, who's 2 for 3. He was, he's 2 for 2. He has a single. He has 2 singles, a stolen base, an RBI, and he was hit by the pitch. Here is the first pitch to Johnston. That's taken off the plate away for a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Inside, ball 2. 2-0 now. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That's off the plate away, 3-0. And now the count, 3-0. Here's the pitch, taking all the way for a called strike. Here's the big question, baseball fan. Are you going trick-or-treating tomorrow? Nice. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Dick McBride. Grounded over to second. On to first, in time. And that will retire the side. For the first time on either side, it's a 3-up, 3-down inning. No runs, no hits. Nobody left on base. We go bottom 6th. It is 6-0 for Cleveland. We still trick-or-treating out here? I don't know, bro. I don't. I haven't trick-or-treated since I was like 14. Maybe 12, actually. And no, I'm not too old for it. Nah, not into dressing up. Also decorating nice, though. Nice. Now, here's the other question real quick before we go to commercial break. Where you live, do they select which night is Halloween? Because when I lived in Philly, it did not matter what day of the week Halloween was. Trick-or-treating was always the 31st of October. If it was a Tuesday night and you had school the next day, tough shit. It didn't matter. You know? No, yeah, it was the 31st. Now that I live outside of the city, they actually, the borough actually tells you what day it is. Now, because the 31st is a Friday, this year it's the 31st, but like in previous years, depending on weather, the district would be like, we're going to hold Halloween on the 28th. And I was like, that's not the purpose of Halloween. Is not on the 28th. I'm like a hard, old schooler for Halloween should be on the 31st. I just avoid going out on the 31st anyway because it's very, very dangerous on Halloween in my area. Yeah. I think in Jersey, I guess Halloween's still happy. So if it's rained, then it's canceled. See, it's not canceled. If it's raining, when I was a kid, if it's raining on the 31st, you're trick-or-treating in the rain. It just is what it is. You know? But yeah, that's the way it was with me, Pingu. If it's raining, guess that sucks. bring a poncho or something. I don't know what to say. Bring an umbrella. Like, I've done it in the snow, the rain, the winds, the cold, the warmth. I've done it in all over the years when I was a kid. But it was always on the 31st. It was never elected by the local council or borough or anything else. It can snow too on Halloween. People, yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, right. We are going to take a quick 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in just a minute and a half. Right, we are back. Bottom sixth here in Rockford, Illinois. It is a 6-0 Cleveland game. And here we go. Stepping in will be catcher Doug Allison. He's going to lead things off here for Rockford. Halloween is a normal day for me now, though. Now it is for me, too. We don't even give out candy anymore. We don't even give out candy because the development is so small. And the development has a lot of religious people in it who don't even like. They're like very anti-Halloween. So it's like their kids don't trick or treat because they're anti-Halloween. So it's like, I mean, the people next door used to have a young kid, and or there was a family next door. They used to have a real young kid. So we just made we would just buy enough to make like 1 or 2 or 3 little small bags for the family. And we would take it over to them, and then we would, we would give them to them, on Halloween, and be like, "Happy Halloween! Here you go for your kids." They sold and moved out, and there's another family in there now, and I don't think they do trick or treating as well. So it's like there's really nobody to even give out candy to. Now it's all about buying that discount candy the days after Halloween. I mean, Thanksgiving, not anyone celebrates that, enjoys it. Oh, I love Thanksgiving. I always love Thanksgiving. Right, Doug Allison, here's the first pitch to him. And it's inside for a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. That is ripped in the left, right at the left fielder, though, and that will be the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Joe Start, the first baseman. He's 1 for 2 with a double. Here's the first pitch to him. That is below the knees for a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. That is a called strike. It's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch to Start. Inside, ball 2. Here's the 2-1. That is grounded over towards the second baseman, and he's flopped on it. That's going to be an infield single for Joe Start. That's going to bring up George Bird, the center fielder. 1 for 2 with a single. Runner on first, 1 out here. Here's the first pitch to George Bird. And it's below the knees, 1-0. Oh, we didn't have curfew in the city of Philly on Halloween night. We did not have curfew. We were out till like midnight, 1 a.m. Here's the 1-0. That's popped up right at the second baseman. And that'll be the second out of the inning. Right, that's going to bring up George Wright. He's 0 for 2 so far today. Then becomes a back 5 done. Then it becomes a 4-3-3. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. That's true, baseball fan. Here's the first pitch to George Wright. He's grounded this over to second. On to first. That's in time, and that is going to retire the side. No runs on 1 hit. They leave 1 aboard. We go top 7th here in Rockford. It is 6-0 Cleveland. Due up first for the Cleveland Forest Citys is first baseman Denny Mack. But you know the rules. It's a new inning. It's a new shout-out. Give Pat Wentz a follow. Apex Legends, Football Manager, F1 Manager. Plays a lot of cool games. The great Pat Wentz. Give him a follow. He's an awesome streamer from the great land of the Philippines as well. Pat Wentz is our sponsor for this 7th inning. Right, here is Denny Mack settling in. He is 0 for 3 so far today. Here's the first pitch to him. And he's grounded that right over towards the second baseman. And over to first. That's in time for the first out. Bruh. What do you, bruh? What, you don't like it how I make it like an American advert? We're only playing the great game of baseball, Pat. We might as well just go full American, embrace the advert, the advert stance on it, you know? 3 out of 5 for the Prodigy album. Sounds, hey, look, that's decent. I probably would give it around the same. Yeah, no, I get that. I get that. That's going to bring up John Glenn. He's 1 for 3. Here's the first pitch. Inside, that's ball 1. Yeah, Halloween's pretty global. Not everybody does, but it's definitely a more global holiday, right? So. Ireland, right, Pingu? You're Irish, right? Here's the first pitch. Or the 1-0 pitch, sorry. Grounded over towards second. Is he going to get there in time? No play. Infield single. Infield single for John Glenn. Yes, nice. Does Island have some good candy? Oh, yes, they do. That's going to bring up Francis Abercrombie, runner on first, one down here. First pitch, Abercrombie lines this into right. Right fielder's coming short for it. He will make the catch. That's out number 2 in the inning. That's going to bring up Dave Egler, the center fielder. He is 3 for 4 today. Believe it or not, baseball fan, American chocolate is hated pretty much everywhere around the world. Here's the first pitch. That's a called strike. It's 0-1. I mean, I like it. It can be sweeter. No, I disagree. You're gonna yell at me for saying this, but Cadbury does not travel well, and like there's 2 different Cadbury's over here is made different than Cadbury's in the UK, because I know Cadbury's is like an English company or it's a British company, but they don't use the same formula, and the Cadbury's chocolate that's made over here in the US is disgusting. And you know, it's just so disgusting. Yeah, I've actually had Irish chocolate before. It's really good. It's really good, actually. My favorite is Belgian. I've had Belgian chocolate. Belgian chocolate's out of this world. Although, you know what's really good? Southeast Asian candy, especially Southeast Asian chocolates like Indonesia. My friend from Indonesia sent me a care package months ago. She actually sent me another one, and I'm arguing with FedEx over it right now. But my friend from Indonesia sent me a care package like over a year ago, and she stuffed it with Indonesian candy, Indonesian coffee, Indonesian like chocolate. Oh my God, it was so good. I was like, I told her, I said, this is the best package anyone sent me. She's genuinely just an absolute gem of a human being as well. And he'd always yap about their chocolate. Yeah, it's good. It's really good. Here's the 0-1. That's lined into right field. Right at the right fielder, and he will make the catch, and the side is retired. No runs on 1 hit. They leave 1 aboard. It is time for the 7th inning stretch here in Rockford, Illinois. It's a time-honored tradition in baseball. It's a time-honored tradition here. It's time for this rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. We're going to get up and stretch for 3-4 minutes. You might as well, too. We'll be back with more in just a few minutes' time. You heard the man. It's time to play ball here in Rockford, bottom 7th. Rockford trailing by a score of 6-0. Dick McBride will be due up first here, the pitcher. He is 0 for 2 so far today. I miss the guy. He's been offline a few years now. I had a friend from the Philippines who did that, actually. Speaking of the Philippines, I used to play. We played Blade and Soul together all the damn time. I mean, every single night I would log in and she would be awake and we would play Blade and Soul together. And yeah, like after a year and a half, she just went offline and I haven't heard from her. And no, not Blade and Soul, like the original Blade and Soul. And what do you call it? She's been offline for like 5 years now. So, no, longer. God, it's been longer. Because I was at the old job when I played Blade and Soul. When I played Blade and Soul, I was working at a Sicklerville. So I've been in my current job 7 years. So she's been offline like 8 or 9 years now. But yeah, I used to have a friend like that too. You just hope they're doing well. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I can't reach out to her. Nothing. I don't have any contact info. Like, so I have, but yeah. She's moved on. Which is fine. I just think she got tired of games and she stopped playing games. So I was like, okay. Discord account's no longer active, and I never had her email. But her Discord account is gone. So, yeah. And I don't mean like no longer active, like she doesn't post on it. I mean like it's completely deactivated and deleted and gone. Like it's done. You know. Good night, Benny. Good night, Buck. Take care of yourself, bro. Thank you for stopping by, brother. I'll talk to you soon, man. Right. Here's the first pitch to Dick McBride. He lines this. That is fair. Umpire signals fair. It's an E5 because of the mishandling at third base. So it will be Francis Abercrombie with his second error of the afternoon. But it is going to be a fair ball, and it is going to be the leadoff runner again for the Rockford Forest Citys. That's going to bring up Cap Anson. He is 2 for 3 so far today. Here's the first pitch to him. That's a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Below the knees, 1-1. You know what their biggest export is now, baseball fan? Here's the 1-1 pitch. That is grounded over towards the ground. Oh, it's a very quick double play. 4-6-3. That'll clear the bases for George Hall. Here's the first pitch to George Hall. He's fouled that to the backstop. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's grounded over towards the right side. It'll be 0-2. Their biggest export is crippling depression. Somebody out there knows that meme. It's Cleveland. Right. Here's the 0-2. And And this one's lined deep into left field. Drifting foul, will land foul. It's an old video. It's called Cleveland Tourism video. Or it's like called Cleveland Tourism advert or something. If you look it up on YouTube, it should take you right there. But I have to eat. All right. Here's the 0-2. That's grounded to the backstop again. It's going to remain 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's below the knees, ball 1. Here's the 1-2. Below the knees, 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. He's popped it up right next to home plate, and that will be caught, and that will be the side retired. No runs, no hits. They leave none aboard. We go top 8th here in Rockford, 6-0 Cleveland. I don't have any more shout-outs to give. Everybody that's come through that's a streamer has already been shouted out. So we don't have a sponsor for this 8th inning, unfortunately. But it is top 8th here. Fred Cone due up first for the Cleveland Forest Citys. He's 3 for 2 with a stolen base and an RBI. Here's the first pitch. That's below the knees for a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Grounded foul. It'll be 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Off the plate away, 2-1. Here's the 2-1. Line deep into left field. And landing foul. It'll be 2-2. Baseball is America's favorite sport and no one else's. That's not true. Cuba, the Dominican Republic, Venezuela. Come on now, Crack. Don't be like that. How's the save going? I'm getting my ass kicked right now. I'm technically the manager of Rockford. We have a 2-6 record, and we're losing 6-0. Welcome in, Crack. How are you? By the way, guys, there we go. Say his name and he appears. We said we needed a you can't score in mid-game. Yeah. It's we said we needed a sponsor for our 8th inning. We just got one. Crack Attack Central. A fantastic streamer. Football Manager 26, Expedition 33, been playing Shimigami Tensei 5, played Warhammer 40K, Space Marines 2 on stream as well. Fantastic streamer. Give him a follow. Crack Attack Central is our sponsor for this 8th inning. It's a 2-2 count. Welcome in, Crack. Hope you're well, bro. It's a 2-2 count to Fred Cone. Here's the pitch. Need to make a raid alert. Yeah. That one's going to drift foul as well. It'll remain 2-2. Best dealer of the Crack this side of the Atlantic and... Go ahead. Very nice, Craig. Right, 2-2 remains the count. Here's the pitch. That's lined right back at the pitcher. He will glove it. That'll be the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up Deacon White, the catcher. He is 1 for 4 so far today. Crack. I get you. You need to make. I don't know what your raid. What do you think your raid challenge should be? You know what? I'm upset. By the way, I'm super upset because I I uploaded like years ago the videos for all my alerts, right? And I was looking through them and I actually needed one of them this other week and I'm like, did I not save them? I don't have them anymore. I guess I didn't save them. But all the videos I had that are my alerts, I'm like, I don't know how to download the YouTube video again. So I had to figure out how to download the YouTube video and then download and then go into like a video editor and edit the same portions out again just so I can save them and back them up again, or back them up this time, back them up. So this is a retro save. Doesn't have all new variants of pictures like drop pictures. I don't know what you mean. But it has all the historical players that played in the league. Here's the first pitch to Deacon White. That's lined right at the shortstop. That'll be out number 2. Oh, sorry. That's not. I put L8, but that's actually L6. I would love to get a 2C running at each other, smashing into an A and then erupting into the stream's name. Oh, okay. Oh, like you want that as the whole anime. I see. Okay. uh Oh yeah, there's always different pitches. Yeah. Curveball, fastball. Yeah. Yeah. But in 1871 historically they actually threw underhand. So you don't actually get a lot of that pitch variation until they go overhand. Which I couldn't tell you when that happens. But I think that starts happening when you get gloves, like around maybe the 1890s and the early 1900s. But yeah, back in 1871, it was all underhand. So isn't that underhand? Well, I think it's illegal. I don't know if it's illegal for health reasons. I know it's illegal now. But I don't know what year it became illegal either. But yeah, it is illegal in the modern game. Right. Here's Al Spalding, the pitcher. He's going to settle in. He is currently 1 for 3 so far today. Swung on and missed. That's 0-1. So is that pitch in this save not like the underhand pitch? No, they don't animate it. So the pitchers all throw like they have the same throw animations basically. The only thing they do is in the modern game, like pitchers basically can throw like 100 pitches before they get tired, and like this down here is the health bar or the stamina bar, and like most pitchers now are able to throw like 200 pitches before they really get tired because you're throwing underhand, and underhand is actually less stressful on the arm than throwing overhand. I don't know if you know that or not, but throwing underhand is actually safer than throwing overhand because overhand is way more stress on the tendons up here, whereas underhand is a natural motion. Underhand is the natural motion for the body, right? Overhand is not. And depending on how you land and how you pitch, Pedro Martinez did a really good thing about this, like about how pitchers step off the mound, right, when they're throwing a pitch. Because how they step off the mound, the stress can either be here in the shoulder, it can be here in the body, because he says the way you're turned to the way you're taught to pitch is it's in the hips. You're rotating your body, and most of that torque is generating through your body. And that's what generates most of your power. And they said a lot of the times the guys that throw fast now don't step off well enough, and they come at the pitch square. Instead of coming at over the top, their arm is more square, and when they do that, the stress is more here in the arm tendons, and they said that's what's causing all these Tommy John surgeries that are required, because they said they're just ripping the tendons apart there. And Tommy John's doesn't reattach them. Tommy John's like actually moves them around in the elbow, but just so that you can't tear them again from pitching. That's what Tommy John surgery does, but it takes a long time to recover from that surgery. That's like a 9-month surgery, a 9 to 12-month recovery time. Fair. Can you set the pitcher use specific pitch on how micromanage in this game? You can when you're not to throw a specific pitch. No, you can only tell them like pitch at the batter or pitch around him or pitch for contact. You know what I mean? You can tell them to do that, but you can't tell them throw a curveball, throw a this, that, and the other. Well, I have no pitch at the moment with my bum arm. Yeah. I get that. Pedro, my guy from the Bo Sox, says he was Phillies for a little while, Expos Dodgers. His insight's insane. If you ever get a chance to just understand the science of pitching, his insight into the game is like, it'll make you appreciate baseball. If you don't understand anything about baseball, or you don't really get baseball or what people like about it, it's the nuances in baseball that are the big selling point, right? It's the little tiny nuances, and Pedro is filled with information on them. Filled with them. Yankee killer, though, Pedro, as he should be. As he should be. Right, 0-1 count to Al Spalding. Here's the pitch. That's lined right at the second baseman. He will glove it. That will be the out, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, nobody left. We go 3 up, 3 down. It's bottom 8th here in Rockford, Illinois. Cleveland leading it by a score of 6-0. We are going to take our final 90-second timeout of the night. We will be back with more in just a minute and a half. Right, we're back. Bottom 8th here in Rockford. Ross Barnes due up as the first batter. Just 70 pitches so far for Al Spalding. He's going to get things started here with the 71st, and that's going to be a called strike. It's 0-1. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not him that get. Yeah, no, let's get some started. Right, here's the 1-0. That's taken. Check swing. They go over to first base. Umpire said he didn't go, and that's going to be 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's popped up. First baseman's over. He will glove it, and then it'll be the first out. That's going to bring up Lip Pike. He's 0 for 3 so far today. Here's the first pitch to Pike. It's called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed. It's 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And he's ripped this over to second. Second baseman's got it on to first in time, and that is going to retire Lip Pike. That'll bring up Doug Allison. He's 1 for 3 so far today. 2 down, nobody on here. There's the first pitch. That's a called strike. It's 0-1. First steam-powered automotive, 1871 by J.W. Carhart. And your Empire German Empire, 1871 founded. Yeah. Founded at Versailles as well. They marched over to Versailles in order to found the German Empire. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And it's lined into right field. That'll be a base hit. And Allison is aboard here with his second base hit of the afternoon. That's going to bring up Joe Startin, the first baseman. He is 2 for 3 so far today. Here's the first pitch to him. He's grounded this back over. Shortstop's got it. Bad throw onto second. Allison is safe. It is going to go down as an E6. That is shortstop Chick Fulmer making the error. I studied a little bit of it. That's going to bring up George Bird, center fielder. It's 1 for 3. Here's the pitch. That's lined into left field. That's foul. It lands foul. First and second, 2 down here. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's fouled back into the stands. It's 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's high, ball 1. Here's the 1-2. That's lined into right field deep. Going back on it. Is it going to land foul? It does. Opportunity to bring in runs denied by the foul line. Here's the 1-2. That's grounded foul again. It remains 1-2. Here's the pitch. This one's grounded over to short. He's going to throw it on to second. That'll retire the side. No runs on 1 hit. They leave 2 aboard. We go top 9th here in Rockford. Cleveland leading by a score of 6-0. Chick Fulmer due up here to start the inning. He will face the 100th pitch from Dick McBride this afternoon. Yeah. Here's the first pitch. That's a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That's outside, ball 1. Here's the 0-1. Here's the 1-1. That's lined through, base hit. Chick Fulmer's aboard here in the 9th. He's got himself a that's an error as well. Oh no. It's an error on the center fielder. That's George Bird. He's got his second of the afternoon. That's going to give Chick Fulmer second base. Thanks, baseball fan. I appreciate that. Here comes William Johnson. He's 2 for 3. First pitch. Inside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. That's grounded back to the mound. Over to first, that's in time for the first out of the inning. Staying at second is Fulmer. And that's going to bring up Denny Mack, first baseman. Here we go. First pitch. Check swing. They look at first base. He didn't go, says the umpire. Here's the 1-0. He's popped it up right behind second base. Shortstop over there to grab it. He will make the play, and that will be the second out of the inning. Right, 2 down, 1 on here. John Glenn, right fielder, comes up to bat. He's 2 for 4 so far today. Here's the first pitch to him. That's away for a ball, 1-0. Right, here's the first pitch. That is popped up. And the second baseman runs over to grab it. That will retire to side. No runs, 1 hit. They leave 1 aboard. We go bottom 9th here. It is 6-0 Cleveland. Rockford are down to their final 3 outs. Leading off will be shortstop George Wright. Here's the first pitch to him. That's a called strike, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Low, ball 1. Here's the 1-1. That's grounded over towards the second baseman. That's a bad throw. And that is going to be an E4. Wright is aboard on an error by William Johnson, the second baseman. And Rockford's got a leadoff runner in scoring position. That's going to bring up Al Barker, who's going to sub in for Dick McBride. Here's the first pitch to Barker. He's grounded that back. Here's the 0-1. Called strike 2 on a pitch right down the center of the plate. It's 0-2. Here's the 0-2. That is off the plate away. Pass ball as well, which means Wright's going to go to third. The ACW, my last Warriors. Nice. Nice. I studied AP U.S. history. That's what I studied. AP U.S. and European history. I didn't actually get into the class. I applied to the class, and the department head did not like me. So I got denied every AP class while he was there. But I applied for what we called contract work, which is essentially, when I went to high school, you had to take 1 year of physical education, which is basically gym. And I took it my sophomore year. And in junior year, you can apply for contract work. And what that does is you actually go into a classroom and assist a teacher during that period that you would have gym otherwise, whatever it is, collecting tests, taking attendance, whatever they need help with, you assist them. And that replaces a second year of gym. And I got contracted work with one of my favorite teachers who I had geography with my sophomore year. And he was teaching AP US and AP European history. And I wound up taking the class, and I had studied history independently myself. So I actually did very well. You know, I did well in the class. I mean, I wasn't officially in the class, but engaged in a lot of the topics of conversation because they were there wasn't like a traditional class. They were more open formed. It was a lot of fun. He encouraged me to take the AP test. He said, you should probably go this Saturday and take the AP test with the kids. He goes, because you would do very well in it. And I said, I agree, but I just can't afford it. I just couldn't afford the fee. So, I think it was like $200 or something like that. It was like $100 or $200 at the time. Right, 1-2 count. Here's the pitch. That is chop foul. And we just did not have that kind of money back then. That's why I went to public school. So, here's the 1-2. That is ripped in the left center. Way back there. It's off the base of the wall. It's going to be runs. Rockford are finally on the board. Wright's got himself, and I'm sorry, Barker, the pinch hitter, brings in an RBI double. Coming in the score is Wright, and it's 6-1. That's going to bring up Cap Anson, the third baseman here. Here's the first pitch to Anson. That's taken off the plate away, 1-0. That's a pass ball. It's a pass ball, and Barker gets to third. And the count is 2-0. Here's the 2-0. That's grounded over to third. On to first. That's in time. That's the first out of the inning. Barker's held at third there. One out and a runner 90 feet away. George Hall is up to the plate. The left fielder, he's 0 for 4. Here's the pitch. He is going to ground that back to second. That's on to first in time for the second out of the inning. Not looking good for the Rally Caps. They had a brief moment there, but now struggling. That brings up Russ Barnes. He is currently 0 for 4 today. First pitch to Barnes. He's grounded and foul. Here's the 0-1. That's lined right in the gap, base hit. Barnes has brought one home. It's an RBI single for Barnes. Scoring is Barker, and it's 6-2. That's going to bring up right fielder Lip Pike. He's 0 for 4 today. Here's the first pitch to Pike. That's a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Inside, ball 1. Here's the 1-1. He's ripped this in the right field, but it's right at the right fielder. That is the final out of the game. And this one, 2 runs on 2 hits, and they leave 1 aboard. The final here, the Cleveland Forest Citys 6, the Rockford Forest Citys 2. Rockford will fall to 2-7. Cleveland will recover to 4-5 on the season. But that is your finale here between these two teams. Let's do the scorecards here. We got to do the scorecard. We always do the scorecards at the end. Right, Dave Egler. 5 at-bats, 3 hits, all singles. He had 3 stolen bases. He scored a run. We're doing Cleveland first, by the way. Fred Cohn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at-bats, 3 hits, 1 RBI, 1 stolen base, 1 run. Deacon White, 5 at-bats, 1 hit, 1 run. I'm sorry, 2 runs. Al Spalding, 5 at-bats, 1 hit, 1 run. Chick Fulmer, 5 at-bats, 1 hit, 1 RBI, 1 fielding error. William Johnson, 5 at-bats. No, 4 at-bats. Sorry, 4 at-bats because he was hit by the pitch once. 4 at-bats, 2 hits, 1 RBI, 1 stolen base, 1 run, 2 fielding errors. Denny Mack, 5 at-bats, not a single hit. He also struck out once. John Glenn, 5 at-bats, 2 hits, 1 RBI. And then Francis Abercrombie, 4 at-bats, no hits, 2 fielding errors. Total fielding errors for Cleveland I have is 5. Total hits I have for Cleveland, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. I have 13 hits. Yep, that's correct. No singles or doubles, by the way. 4 RBIs for them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 runs. Total at-bats, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 29, 34, 39, 43. Struck out once. They stole 3, 4, 5 bases. They stole 5 bases. That's insane. Right. We'll come back to them for the pitcher. On the Rockford side, really bad day at the office for a lot of people here. Cap Anson, 5 at-bats, 2 hits. Okay. That's it. 2 fielding errors as well. George Hall, 5 at-bats, no hits, a stolen base. Ross Barnes, 5 at-bats, 1 hit, an RBI. Lip Pike, 5 at-bats, no hits. Barnes also had a fielding error, by the way. Doug Allison, 4 at-bats, 2 hits. Joe Start, 4 at-bats, 2 hits, 1 of which was a double. George Bird, 4 at-bats, 1 hit, 2 fielding errors. George Wright, 4 at-bats, no hits, 1 run. Dick McBride, 3 at-bats, no hits, 1 error. And Al Barker, 1 at-bat, 1 hit. It was a double. It was an RBI, and he scored a run. Total at-bats for the Rockford Forest Citys, 5, 10, 15, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. Runs, 2. Hits, I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Fielding errors, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1 double, 2 doubles, 1 RBI, 1 stolen base. Now for the pitchers. Al Spalding gets the win. He pitched 9 innings. I have his pitch count at 102. That's correct. No base on balls, no strikeouts, 9 hits, 2 runs. Were they earned? Neither of them were earned. Great outing from Al Spalding. Dick McBride, 9 innings pitched. I have his pitch count at 108. That's correct. No base on balls, but he did hit a guy. He struck out 1. Hits were 13. Yeah. Runs were 6. Earned were 2. And he gets credited with the loss. And there you have it. That is the final here from the Agricultural Affairs Society grounds. Right. Now then. Elsewhere, the Chicago White Stockings beat the New York Mutuals by a score of 6-3. A big four-run fourth inning carried the White Stockings to the victory. So we're going to finish today. There's nothing on the 30th. There's nothing on the 31st, which means we are officially into June. The next matchup is the 1st of June, 1871. It's the first mid-season matchup for us. It is the 2-7 Rockford Forest Citys, who are 0-5 on the road, against the 4-4 Washington Olympics, who have all 4 of their wins at home. They're 4-1 at home. That is the next matchup. Let's look at your standings very quickly, shall we? Your standings. The Chicago White Stockings now lead the National League by a half game over the 6-6 Fort Wayne Kekiungas. New York Mutuals at 4-4 are also a half game back. The Troy Haymakers are 2.5 back at 3-7. The Rockford Forest Citys slide to baseball's worst record right now at 2-7. They are 3 games back in the National League. Boston Red Stockings are dominating the American League. They are 7-2. They lead the Philadelphia Athletics by a game, who themselves are 5-2. Washington Olympics and Cleveland Forest Citys are both 4-4, sitting 2.5 games back. Boston has won 6 straight. That is the longest winning streak. Rockford holds the longest losing streak, which is 3 in a row. There is no need to hold a poll because there's only 1 game on the first. So, and Rockford play here against Boston, so that's going to be the game we have to play. The next poll won't be until the 6th of June, so we've got a few streams before then. So we got next stream is Rockford versus Washington. The stream after that will be Rockford versus Boston. The stream after that, Rockford versus Troy. And then the stream after that, Rockford versus Washington. And then we will let chat pick which match comes next. Damn, Stuart, the man, the myth, the legend, Bennigat. Welcome in, Stuart. We are about to leave, brother. We are done here. That's all for me. There you go. There's your standings real quick. One last look at the standings. And our next matchup is the 1st of June, 1871, 2-7 Rockford at 4-4 Washington. Huge thanks to it for coming in at the end. Big thank you to Crack Attack Central as well for coming in. Big thank you to all the viewers, which include Patwitz, Dave Hull, FC, Itkit, Otto Leidenbrock, 10th Shadow, Buck FC, Mr. Bojangles, Thomas Rolls, Ziggurath, Skullcrusher, Pingu the Prince, Parsbro, and a guy with a team. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much. This is the end of the recording. We will see you for the next one. Until then, take care.